You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's Vegas. It's rock. It's dogs. It's Vegas Rock Dog Radio. A rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. Stand by for great guests and cool advice. All in one rockin' hour. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. That's 702-483-4444. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
Welcome to the show. I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and you are listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. And I'm live from sunny Las Vegas, but I'm not alone today because I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but I've brought Jim back in the studio, my husband.
Because I drive you here.
That's the only reason he is here. You know what? This mic sounds so good. I don't know what's going on, but it sounds really good. I'm very happy about that. So Jim is here. Our friend Diane's here in studio as well. Big pet lover. And it's always nice to see Diane, so we've got her sat in with us. Why not? We've got a big room now, so we can fit more people in. It's as simple as that. So if you are listening in for the first time, welcome to the show. And I want to tell you how you can connect with us on the internet. I have a new thing. I tried these new platforms out, and I can tell if it's going to be something that's useful, I think, for the show or a company, whatever. And some things just don't stick for me, like the Vine. Not bothered about Vine in the slightest. But I found a new one that I really, really like. Signed up a while ago, didn't really do anything with it, but I see the potential for it being really, really good for the show. So you're going to like this, Diane, when I tell you what this is. So if you're listening in for the first time, you can find everything about the show at www.vegasrockdogradio.com. We are not streaming today. Oh, he knows. Mike knows what I'm going to talk about. He must be. They know. They're ahead of the game. They're ahead of the game.
Did your body make it back from England yet?
Not really.
Okay.
It's taken me a while to recover from that trip. So I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. Hang on. It's like a game of charades over here right now. We're not Ustreaming today, but you can see some shows on Ustream. And you'll go to ustream.tv. You'll find Vegas Rock Dog Radio over there. Facebook is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. That made me laugh, Mike. Twitter is Vegas Rock Dog Show. No W at the end. The call-in number is 702-483-4444. And like I said, you're listening to us live on vegasallnetradio.com. Our Instagram account, you're about to say something there, Jim. Our Instagram account is?
Instagram.
Oh, come on. Take a guess.
The rock and roll dog.
No. Instagram is Vegas Rock Dog. We've only been married 20 years. He has no clue what's going on.
Jim definitely hasn't made it back from England with you.
Everything's always a test. You don't give me a list and a sheet. I have to commit it to memory.
That's the point.
Well, give me a list so that I can commit it to memory.
This is a man that could memorize a whole symphony he has to play, or a musical, an entire musical, or 4 sets of music. However,
some things
he doesn't know what Instagram
sometimes numbers don't connect, and I can't remember them either.
Oh my God, there's no numbers in the name. It's just Vegas Rock Dog on Instagram. The blog is therockandrolldog.com, and that's with an N. And if you want some rock and roll clothing for you and your pets, you can go to vegasrockdog.com. We have our own app. Hey, did you sign up to do the app? The Yap app?
No. That's next.
It's on your list, yeah? So you're going to go to yap.us. That's YAPP.us. And then once you download the app, you'll then download Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Here's my new platform. I'm like the test guinea pig. I'll try anything first time. Periscope. Yes, I really like Periscope.
I watched this thing work the other night ago.
Isn't it good?
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah, I just, that real time, it's live. Just the fact that it says, whoa, that's like we had an explosion in the studio. That was a bit much. The fact that it says live, for me, I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Right.
So that's what I think is very exciting about Periscope. And it's kind of exciting to see when people log on to see what the heck it is that you're streaming.
Now with your Droid phone, it's a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit different than going onto the iPhone.
Right.
But it there is an app for the Droid phones.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And that's called Periscope.
Yes.
And at first, I think sometimes with platforms, they tell you what it does, but then I think like people like you and I mean, what's the name of your show, Diane?
The Ladies of On Pit Road Racing.
The Ladies of On Pit Road Racing is part of the network too. Is you start to see it in a business way, don't you? You know,
Yes.
go, how can we? Okay. So I just did a little video yesterday of Mr. Twix because he's got a purple mohawk right
I
now.
saw that. That's so cute.
Cool.
It is.
It's my favorite color so far.
Periscope is actually a legendary classic jazz composition by the great Bill Evans. Oh. But it's Perry's Scope.
Hadn't forgot that music, has he?
No.
You can tell he's a musician.
Everything's a musical reference in our house. And Diane thinks he looks like George Harrison, so...
And that's
You
my
do?
favorite Beatle.
You do. You're lucky there, then.
Yeah.
Jim. Big compliment.
He was my favorite Beatle as well. I was very upset when Eric Clapton stole his wife.
I don't care about that stuff.
You see, this kind of stuff makes me laugh, and my family will laugh, and they go, "What's funny?" And I'm like, "You don't even realize that you are funny to us, you know." So.
I got to meet Ringo. I never got to meet George.
Did you realize?
Yes.
Okay, now he's married to Barbara Bach.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Daisy Duke?
No,
No,
Barbara Bach.
Oh, Barbara Bach. Oh, okay.
Barbara Bach from the Force 10 from Navarone.
Oh, okay.
You know, the insurgent
Okay.
that was in the resistance with the guy that played Jaws in James Bond.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. No, I know who you're talking about.
Well, you know what?
Nobody stole his wife. He's been married to her for a long time.
Yeah, that's right. I was talking with a friend about that yesterday. Yeah.
You know we have a guest
How
on
the hell did you get on the Beatles?
Do you know we have a guest on Skype?
I know.
Would you like to say hi to her?
Julie might have just fallen asleep. Are you there, Julie?
Hello, friends.
Is that is Jim making you laugh this morning?
Jim has made me laugh from the moment that I met him.
You see, he has that effect on people.
What's up, Dr. Julie?
Hey, I'm just sitting here thinking about when I did meet you and your table were enjoying the adult beverages and I had an extra ticket that I was not going to use and I was just drawn over to the action and excitement at your table, and it's happening right here live on the radio.
That's
now.
right. We were kind of like the naughty table at Blog Pause. We were the naughty. We had more drinks than people that were at the table on the table. Yeah. So we just arrived. So it was like, yeah, everybody come and join this table. And this is how we met Julie. Let me tell you about Julie, everybody.
You should introduce her now.
Hello. Oh, you can't even breathe around here. Hang on a
I
second.
need to keep you on track.
My lovely guest today is Dr. Julie Buzby. I so love her name. You know the Queen's Guards that wear the big black fluffy hats? That's called a Buzby, by the way, in case you didn't know that.
Wow.
Now you know. I think you should be the doctor, the veterinarian that wears the Buzby hat when you treat your patients.
Yes, we need to change the branding.
That could be your signature look. You know, like the Donald has his hair. I think that would. You know what? I'm very good on Photoshop, Julie. Get ready. Because I don't think you can go down the corner store and buy one of those Buzbies. You know, they're very specialised for the Queen. But I digress, like I do on every single show. But let me tell you about Julie. She graduated from Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine in 1997 and began her career caring for dogs, cats, and horses. To augment her Western training, she earned certification by the American Veterinary Chiropractic Association in 1998 and by the International Veterinary Acupuncture Society in 2002. All treatments that we absolutely love, Jim and I. As she broadened her field of expertise, she cultivated a passion for canine posture and lameness and became a zealous advocate for appropriate canine nail care. You know, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I think it surprised a lot of people how important it was. So we were going to be able to go a little deeper in that, which is fantastic. In 2000, she opened her own clinic and put her passion for integrative veterinary medicine into practice. And after she sold the clinic in 2008, she moved her family to, is it Beaufort? Is that how you pronounce it?
In North Carolina, that is how you say it, but in South Carolina, where I live, it's pronounced Beaufort.
Oh, well, there you go. It's like when we lived in Nashville and Decatur was Decatur. That is no joke.
Really?
Yes, Decatur was Decatur. Yeah. So, so there she moved, and she continues to practice there part time as an integrative veterinarian. Julie seeks to integrate the best of Western medicine, alternative therapies, and creative tools for maximizing wellness in her patients. And this is what we're going to talk about. And she serves on the advisory board of the Grey Muzzle Organization. Welcome to the show, Julie.
Woo! I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Me too. It's so lovely to be able to connect because, I mean, for us, blood pool seems like a lifetime away, and I'm sure it does for you. As soon as you got home, I'm sure you were super busy with... How many kids have you got? 4?
8.
Oh my gosh, how did I not even know it was 8? That's crazy. How are you jolly even at this time in the morning? That is unbelievable. She's so nice though and friendly and happy, and I'm like, how did that happen with that many kids? That's a lot of work, and still having a business, you know. Well, we met Julie, so like she said, she came over to the naughty table and everybody's handing out cards, and she told us about this product of hers that's called Dr. Buzby's Toe Grips. That's correct, isn't it, Julie?
For dogs, yes.
And
Dr. Busby's Toe Grips for dogs.
For dogs. And I like the tagline where it says, oh gosh, doggone it, get a grip. It's a grip.
Get doggone grips.
It's
Sam. That is great.
it's a really, really good tagline. So first of all, I want you to tell everybody what your website is for Toe Grips so that we can get that off the bat so people can start, researching it.
Yes, thank you. So our website is simple. It's just toegrips.com, TOEGRIPS. And I'll put our Facebook page out there as well. It's same thing, facebook.com/toegrips.
It's so easy. I'm on Instagram because you got on Instagram at Blog Pause, didn't you?
Oh my heavens, that was such wise advice. Things have gone crazy for us there, yes. Our Instagram is Dr. Buzby's Toe Grips.
And I tell you something, as soon as she got on it, she didn't just create a profile. She was posting like crazy and tagging and this, that, and the other. And isn't it really good? Because I think when you have a product, those pictures are so important so people can grasp what they're about, And I liked some of your videos. Maybe you should Periscope.
Yes, I've never heard of it, but I'm going to check it out because my friend Sam said it's where I need to be.
And if you haven't, in a week's time, I'll be like, why did you not get on Periscope yet? I'm that kind of person. But let's talk about how Toe Grips became into existence. I mean, when you explained to us, you just showed us the product, we instantly got it. But I think, there are some people that obviously we're the type of pet parents that we're looking for what's out there, what's new products, new therapies, new, training techniques, those kind of things. But I think a lot of people would have no idea that this product exists, but we got it instantly.
Maybe we need to know, maybe have Dr. Julie give our listeners an explanation of the physiology and what happens with dogs through their paws and their feet and their toenails, that led to the product. So, kind of give that out. Yeah,
because it's quite an interesting story, isn't it, Julie, how this all came about. We're going to let you just have the floor and run with it.
Okay, well, you might regret that because I'm so excited to talk about this, and I get goosebumps actually when I start going here. So being an integrative veterinarian, I do combine Western medicine, so standard medications, with alternative therapies like chiropractic, acupuncture, supplements, Chinese herbs. Mm-hmm. So, and most of my patients are senior dogs with mobility issues. So I had this whole practice full of senior dogs that struggled on slick floors because we live near the coast and everybody has hardwood or tile floors. Nobody has, carpet really anymore in our area. So there was this frustration for me constantly of feeling like we were really making a difference in these dogs' quality of life from a pain management standpoint and even increasing their mobility.
Right.
But I could never do anything about slipping, and their parents were frustrated. The mom would come in for the appointment and say, I feel like I went home and my dog completely undid what you did with your adjustment because he wiped out on the floor and crashed to the floor and, hurt his hip. And I knew they were right because I could see it at the vet office. They were slipping and sliding, and it affected not only their physical body, but there's a huge emotional toll that this takes. It really impacts their confidence. And you can see that in their facial expression and their posture. So Toe Grips were so exciting to me because it was a biomechanic solution to this biomechanic problem. And to kind of back up and talk about what Jim was alluding to, dogs use their toenails for traction. That is their natural traction gaining mechanism. If they're outdoors, where they're designed to be running around outside, they're going to take their nails and dig them in when they're making a sharp turn.
Yeah.
And their nails will act like cleats into the ground and give them all the traction they need. You don't see dogs slipping and sliding routinely when they're running around outside. So the nails are designed to do that. But indoors, they can't dig their hard nails into hard floors. And so they're living on these hard surface floors. And when their brain just really as an instinctive reflex goes to engage the nails when they feel like they need a little bit more stability and traction, it fails them. And that's, like I said, very stressful to them. So on the market to date, we had boots and booties and socks and things that all sprays and things that you can alter the paw pads with, but their paw pads and their entire paws really aren't the way that they are designed to get traction. It's through the nails. So that was the beauty of toe grips, is this so simple and yet so brilliant. And I love to brag about it because it was a client's idea.
Oh, wow.
Just to augment the nails so that they can now grip just the non-slip material of the toe grips, grips the nails or grips the floor in a way that the hard nails cannot.
It's a little bit like when you do yoga. You wouldn't do yoga in running shoes. You would do yoga in bare feet because you need to have contact with the ground, and you obviously I feel like you can read a lot more information when your feet are on the ground.
Yes, that is scientifically true.
Yeah, doing the job that they're supposed to do. I mean, we have hardwood floors at home, and we sometimes have that Scooby-Doo effect going on. The legs are going 100 miles an hour and stuff like that. So we do have to really, really try and keep on top of nails. Now, Galaxy, our big girl, we were taking her every 2 weeks to get her nails done. But they grow so quick, it's absolutely insane. We're actually going to start doing weekly now. Because
she's 10 years old and her nails grow weekly faster than a human's nails.
It's insane. So, but what we did notice, Julie, last week, because we got so busy, is they were just too long. And I noticed her posture was different. So do you want to talk about how that does affect their posture? Like you say, whether you haven't, taken care of their nails, because I know that you specialize in nail care, and why those grips then aid in that posture not being affected.
Sure. I always joke with my clients that Michelle Obama has childhood obesity and I have dog toenails. So
I love it.
It's a humble platform to really embrace, but I believe so strongly that it is so important, and it's such a simple thing that we can do for our dogs. In the wild, they're wearing down their nails, they're digging, they're climbing, they're running, and so the nails don't get like they do out for our sweet little couch potato dogs, and they just grow like you described, Galaxy, and there's really no natural mechanism of getting them any shorter in the environment they're living. So as a dog's nails grow longer, this impacts their entire posture because the nails start to cause the toes to press up. And as you just said, and you're 1,000% correct, the toes are full of proprioceptive receptors. And so that's a big word that basically means receptors that are feeding information in the brain about where the body is in space and how it's relating to gravity. And so that information is becoming faulty as the nails get longer and the toes kind of press up. It actually tells the brain on the front end, I'm standing on a hill, because as the nails start to cause the paws to change the angle at which they hit the ground, the dog has to slightly lean forward so that they continue to maintain a stance perpendicular to gravity.
Right.
And when they do that, then their so they don't fall on their nose because they're not standing on a hill, the hind legs have to come under them so that they can balance what's happening in the front. And so you get this, and sometimes it's very, very dramatic. Probably for your dog it was subtle, but I call it goat on a rock, where the legs are really kind of coming under them in an angle inward, as opposed to being more like a table where the legs are perpendicular to the ground,
right,
really as they should be. And so this affects posture, which when a dog stands like that chronically for years and years and years, that takes such a huge toll on their body. And in my opinion, it's one of the reasons we see so many cruciate tears, the anterior cruciate ligament, which we see so much even in middle-aged dogs now. It's just like, I think it's like the 7th most common injury that we see in veterinary medicine. I think it's because of this chronic bad posture that our dogs are standing with, and it affects their gait. When they pick up their paw and go to swing it forward in the swing phase of gait, they have extra tissue, extra material on the ends of the nails to break over, similar to us wearing like scuba flippers.
Yes.
So it impacts their gait, it impacts their posture, it impacts the way that they are sensing the ground. And so for these dogs that already are having issues with compensation because they're old or debilitated and fighting degenerative disease, we're just much more complicating their lives and just keeping up with nail trims. And I respect so much that you go every 1 to 2 weeks. That's actually ideal, but I have very few clients that I'm able to keep up with that frequency. I think at a month would be the absolute longest, but I do my own dog, every 1 to 2 weeks. And as I said, I think that's ideal.
Yes.
Just because it's so simple, and I say it's the cheapest way that you can actually affect your dog's health. So when a new patient presents to me, typically before we go out in the parking lot and do a gaiting exam, I typically just look at their posture, talk to the owner about the posture, do a nail trim, and boom, there's an instant change. And I do that before the gaiting exam because it's going to give me a much truer read of where the dog's really at, because we've removed what they were compensating for.
I see. Jim wants to say
something
here.
So that leads to the emotional component, because the dog is tentative and the dog is not sure of itself anymore.
Yep.
Emotionally with that misadjustment
it's like
the nails.
It's like going ice skating, and you've never ice skated before, and it's actually quite terrifying. That I'm going to fall down, and you do these weird postures, and it's.
Well, what is again for people like us? I mean, we've got our dogs on nutrition that's better than the food we put in our own bodies,
right?
And so I've got a 10-year-old dog and a 9-year-old dog whose nails grow like weeds because of their nutrition levels.
And because of summer, and it's so hot here in Vegas, our dogs and everybody else's dogs are just not getting the walks that they normally get. So, they seem like they're growing faster, but really what it is they're not getting the activity outside to wear them down, So I think you have to be extra careful of those during summer. But listen, let me tell you something. Just hold your breath for 1 second, because we need to do a quick commercial break, because we're going to talk about the product and why this simple, like you say, simple product is making big changes in the wellness of dogs. But hang on there, Julie. We're going to be right back. We're going to listen to some words from our sponsors, and you listen to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. We'll be right back.
Active for Pets is a new wellness platform and app that helps pet parents save time and money on their vet bills. Stop paying for unnecessary vet treatments. Consult with the vet online. Get unlimited access to your pet's entire health history from any computer or smartphone with the Active for Pets app. Vaccinations, medications, test results, and more. Active for Pets gives you access to a team of expert vets for non-emergency care. Make an appointment before, during, or after office hours. Skip the waiting room and get a secure online vet consult on your schedule. Taking care of your pets is as easy as it gets with Active for Pets. Ready to try Active for Pets? Listeners get 40% off a 1-year membership. To get this great offer, use promo code PETLIFE on the sign-up page of active4pets.com. That's ACTIV, the number 4, PETS.com. Or call 888-512-2848.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Now, let's return to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Here again, your host, the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
And we're back. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And just before the break, we were talking to Dr. Julie Buzby, and she's a veterinarian and has a product called Toe Grips. Dr. Buzby's Toe Grips. They aid senior dogs and special needs dogs. And if you have a dog that does the Scooby-Doo action on your hardwood floors or tiles, or they've come out of surgery, or they have trouble getting traction, we're talking about why toenail health is super important and how these toenail grips are helping. So, Julie, are you still there with us?
I am Queen Sam. I am here.
I love that. I need to wear a crown during this show. That's why you need a Buzby, Julie, and I need a crown. It's as simple as that. Jim, I don't think you stopped the Periscope.
I did stop the Periscope.
I don't know what you did there. Someone said hi, Jim, which was Julie. Not Julie, it was Carol. Anyway, so I'm like all over the place today. So, no, you can't answer that. You can't answer the phone in the middle of the show, Jim. I'm going to have to mute him in a minute. Tell everyone what the toe grips look like, because I know people are going, what are these toe grips? And just explain exactly what they look like, Julie.
Okay, so they're really simple. They're natural rubber cylinders. They're made out of a custom engineered material, and they fit on the tips of the nails. And they work in just one place. We've named it the grip zone. So we talked about the dog engaging the nails for traction. And so now when they go to do that, instead of just having the nail tip slip and slide on the ground, on that slick floor, now that non-slip material will grip. So they're just little kind of rings, if you will, that sit on the tips of the nails. The beauty of them, well, one of the many beauties, in my opinion, is that they don't cover the paw pads, they don't contact skin. And so even dogs who are notorious for not liking things on their feet don't seem to notice them. So that's our most popular question is, well, will my dog tolerate this?
Right.
The answer is 97% of dogs don't even seem to notice them because they're so unobtrusive.
That's really a high percentage. I mean, that's a very high percentage. I mean, think about it. With anything you try, there's going to be a few that it doesn't work for. I mean, like we've just gone through the fireworks season, and my little Jack Russell does great in a thunder jacket, but someone else has used it and said, it didn't make a difference for my dog, But I think at the price point of the toe grips, was it $29.99?
It is.
It's
and they
such
last
a small...
for 1 to 3 months.
Oh, that's amazing. And it's, for me, I'm like, that's so inexpensive to fix quite a serious problem, that leads to other problems if you don't take care of it. So I think that's really reasonable, to be honest with you. How do you get them on the nail? Is it easy to get them on?
Well, if you are competent working with your dog's feet, then yes, it's pretty much intuitive. So if your dog does not let you handle the paws, that's where you're going to have trouble. But the actual process of putting them on, there's a little learning curve in the beginning. But like I said, it's fairly intuitive. We dip them in rubbing alcohol. It's not necessary, but it just breaks the coefficient of friction, so they will slip onto the nails a little easier. And then once they're on there, they just adhere by friction. They create a vacuum on the nail tip, and for the most part, just stay in place. Certain dogs have extenuating circumstances. For example, a dog that might drag or scuff the paws, and in those cases, we recommend super glue just to help them stay on better. But the average senior dog that slips and slides on the floor, you just slide them on, and they stay where they need to be.
I would think it would be a really great aid for. I'm getting a feedback here. Can you hear that? Or is it just me that can hear it? I would think that if dogs have come out of... I'm good. I would think if dogs have come out of surgery as well, like you say, knees, hips, those kind of things. And you do worry about, oh, gosh, how can they get up? And if you've got those slippy floors, it's going to make it even worse, isn't it, Julie?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because we are going to the American College of Veterinary Surgeons meeting this year, their big conference in Nashville in October, to share with the surgeons that they need to think that way. We're a fairly new product on the market, so our job is really just to tell people that we exist as a solution. But if you go to, a human getting any sort of orthopedic procedure is going to go home on crutches or a cane, some sort of support, and yet these poor dogs get these $5,000 surgeries and need their legs just as much, if not more, than we do to get around. And so just doing something this simple, even on a temporary basis, to give them that stability and help protect them from a slip and fall injury, I think I would. My vision is that every vet hospital in America would come to appreciate this and use our product post-operatively.
Do you? It's funny because I think there are some products that have popped up on the market that I'm not sure sometimes if the companies, like you say, reach to that demographic as well. It's not just the pet parent that we want to get this in the hands of, but like you say, you want to be able to, see them hung up in every veterinarian office. That's an option for people. And like I said, it's not expensive, but it will solve such a big problem. And I think the confidence is a big thing. It's funny you talk about, humans breaking legs. My mum broke a leg back in October, and it did affect her confidence most definitely. And, you know, you're out and about and you're going, oh my gosh, I have to grab onto things and this looks slippy to me and I'm very unsure. And I saw how that affected my mom, and she really had to be careful about how she moved and those kind of things. But at least you eliminate that with the toe grips. You just completely eliminate that, you know, with that aid. And I just think it's, like you say, the confidence is such a big thing, because you don't want them getting into a mindset that's like, this is what I do now, which is basically I don't get up, you know,
right.
because it's too scary.
I was with this world famous veterinary surgeon a couple weekends ago, and he was evaluating a patient of mine and I wanted his opinion, and it was a great opportunity for me to learn from his expertise. And he said something so brilliant. He said, you know, what is this? She's an older girl and she's got a lot of troubles, but he said, what is her greatest asset? It's her mobility. She still has that. And I thought that is so true for all of us, really.
Yes.
But that's really the gift of toe grips to these dogs. And I just, on our Facebook page today, we got a picture of a dog wearing a birthday party hat, and the woman said, my dog just turned 14 and wouldn't be here without your product. And it really just brought tears to my eyes, because, and I really encourage you and your listeners to go watch the before and after videos and read the testimonials on our page, because they're so heartwarming and so moving, the difference in quality of life for these dogs. And a lot of it is not only the physical, but the emotional. I had a colleague of mine tell me a while back, when I was explaining this, she said, well, why do I care about the confidence of my patients? Like, that's kind of a little anthropomorphic. And I said, I think that equates to quality of life.
Yes,
you can
it
see
does.
it in their posture, in their facial expression. A lot of our testimonials say, my dog's smiling again. And I see it. I believe it.
I agree. Like I said, we got Galaxy's nails done this week, and when she came out, she was literally galloping. Whereas the day before, she was just like, I'm over these long nails. What's wrong with you human beings? You know, why have you not got my nails taken care of? Now, I can Dremel my Jack Russell. The Galaxy, no. She's not having none of that, you know. So we took her, and I did see a massive difference. And that was just because we'd left them just a little bit too long and we couldn't get in.
Well, she's very particular about handling her feet. Like when she's laid down and relaxing, you can get in there and massage your toes and splay them apart and all that kind of thing.
You can't
but
trim
if
a
you
nail.
go there to do any kind of work, when she's in kind of an upright position, she has nothing to do with it. She doesn't want you on those feet.
She's a queen as well. She really is. I mean, she is very cynical, and she, you know, you'll ask her, hey, come on, let's go outside. Do you want to go outside? And she'll look at you like, I'll think about that. You know, she's that kind of personality, but she's never been big on it, ever really trying to do a nails. I say Thornton is she's an easy dog. We've never tried Mr. Twix because he's so new with us, you know. So, but I did see a big difference. I noticed her posture, and I like the analogy of the goat on a rock, you know, goat on a cliff kind of analogy, because I think that's something people can look for, you know, and see that. Now, we are big fans of chiropractic for our dogs, so we've seen a big difference when they've had adjustments as well. We go to chiropractic, and there's nothing worse than having something that just feels out of alignment. You don't feel neutral, and it affects everything. So I think for a lot of pet parents, they aren't aware that some of these treatments are available, or a product like yours is available. So I think, Julie, my prediction, I think we're going to see this explode really, really in a big way. Are you going to be at Super Zoo here in Vegas? The big...
Yeah, we're not going to be able to make it to Super Zoo, but I hope as the years go on and we continue to grow, I hope that we can be at more and more places and make more and more relationships, because really that's the fun part of it, is just connecting with other people who are passionate about these topics and about the animals.
Yeah, and like you say, it is all about quality of life. You want... Oh, I'm getting feedback again, Mike, I think. Oh, we're good. It is about quality of life. I mean, it upset me that Galaxy was like, I don't feel like getting out because his nails are really getting on my nerves, you know. And I said, you know, we've just left this like 2 days too long. You know, we've got to get her in. And that really did bother me. I thought at first, is there something wrong with her? You know, she was uncomfortable. That's what it was. And I don't even want her to be uncomfortable, let alone lead to any other problems, you know, down the road. Now, what size dogs can wear these? What size ranges are you offering in the toe grips?
We have 7 sizes, so they go all the way from 3-pound dogs up to 250-pound dogs.
You've got it covered.
We initially only came out with 4 sizes because I thought, okay, what 3 to 5 pound dog really even needs toe grips? But we had such heavy demand of people writing and asking and explaining their stories that I thought, we want to help as many dogs as possible. So we took that to research and development and came out with the size that they needed. And then the final size we came out with was triple XL, which is for Irish Wolfhounds, really big Danes, Cane Corsos. So those are kind of a special order size, but we just wanted to have toe grips available for any dog who might need them, and so I'm proud to say that we do.
That's fantastic. Now, if we've got some retailers listening in, where do they go to actually purchase wholesale toe grips from you?
We only wholesale through veterinarians, and that is because I want there to be that education piece, and if they need help with application and even making sure their dog's an appropriate candidate if they have any questions. So we have on our website a page where listeners can find retailers near them who are veterinary offices. But we also sell direct at toegrips.com, and we've really tried to make the site very educational, not only about toe grips, but also about nail trims. And it's been great to really discuss that in this interview, because I think that's not a topic that comes up in routine veterinary medicine or in routine dog hygiene and care. And I think it's something that I want to educate people about, and toe grips is a great platform for that. And so we just shot video on tips and tricks about how to do a nail trim, how to do light colored nail trims, how to do black dog nail trims, which can be intimidating. And so that's going to be up through our Facebook page in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, you know what? I like you say, I do think that toenail trims are just kind of looked at as, I've got to get my dog's nails done. But I don't think people know fully why it's so important, how it affects the entire body. So I like you say, with your product, it goes hand in hand, that educational component. You've got a reason to just tell people, and this is why you should trim these nails too. What I think's happening now as well, and we did the same thing. We got rid of all our carpets in the house because we've got dogs now. I don't vacuum up hair, out of rugs, and I just don't. We now do leather couches for that exact same reason. And I think a lot of pet parents are going down that road. So there will be more dogs, I'm going to say, running around on hardwood floor. And I'm sure if there was a pet psychic, I'm sure those dogs would be saying, "What the heck? You put that slippy floor in for me? I'm not happy about that." And a lot of people try like counteract it with throwing a yoga mat down, which I actually do in the back of my car, so they don't slip around on the back seat. So people are doing that. Doesn't look great in your house. These weird rubber mats all over the place.
Well, that's a great point. I mean, I think yoga mats, throw rugs, that's our main competition, because that's the other thing that really works well. And that is what I told my clients to do prior to toe grips. The problem for me was the dogs would still like to go lie on the cold, hard floor and have to get up off the floor. So you're right. Yoga mats, throw rugs, they work. Runners, they work fantastic. The problem is the dog is not going to live his life exclusively on a yoga mat and a runner. So this was such a great solution because it went with the dog. Even, if they go to the vet, if they go to PetSmart, wherever they are on the slick floors, the dog, it's with the dog. Yeah, exactly. It goes with you everywhere. Our dogs, they only use we have a few rugs in the house, and they use them as surfboards. They surf on them. We come home and they're up the walls and up the doors. And you go, I guess they've been running around. I really should put a camera in our house. We might be shocked what we see. But we come and furniture's been moved and they've dragged rugs from one room to the next. But they generally are all the way up the walls when we get home. They're crazy, I tell you. But and let's say we've got a dog that's 9, one that's 10, and Mr. Twix is 18 months, whatever, or so. And they all think they're puppies, all of them, But they do get that Scooby-Doo effect, once we, let their nails go a little bit too long, Well, and
it's funny because as people, maybe a lot of people that get dogs maybe hadn't had a dog since they were in their childhood, so they get a dog as an adult, and the first thing you learn is, you learn about weight management, and then you learn about teeth and oral care, and so paw and pad and nail care should go hand in hand with the learning stages of people learning how to look at health indicators.
I'm sure there's a lot of, you know what though? Julie, groomers, I tell you something, gosh, they could probably recommend your product to a lot of people. They probably see the most horrific nails, and senior dogs. And some people don't want to get them done because they don't want to pay for it. But like you say, Julie, down the road, if you don't take care of it, you're going to end up with a bigger bill trying to fix other problems just from long nails. But I can definitely see groomers being interested in this product, most definitely. And you know what I love about products? The ones that solve a problem are usually the most successful. It's not so much the product that, oh, that's a cute bag, the new bag, designer bag's out, you're like, oh, I love it for a minute, but it's the products that solve this problem. You go, oh, that's genius. Like Jim was blown away by those, those little things that you roll up the toothpaste and it gets all the toothpaste out.
Yes.
He was in awe of this product. And so I just think when it solves the problem, you're like, oh, that is brilliant. It's so easy. Why didn't I think of that?
Yes.
But I do think that your product's going to really, really blow up. I posted your video that was on your website on our Facebook page, and I already had people comment saying, I didn't know a product existed like this. This is just brilliant. And that was from some friends of ours in England. So I see this just going. Now, you already sell it in Canada, is that correct? Do you sell it in other countries?
We have sold in 40, or probably more than 40 countries, but we have a distributor in the UK. It's OrthoPets Europe, and they are fantastic. The couple that own that company are very strong into rehab and very knowledgeable. So for your UK connections, look up OrthoPets Europe, and I can highly recommend them. I'm proud to partner with them.
Oh, I'm going to be putting this link up most definitely because I just think a lot of people were just so relieved they can use this product and make a difference in their pets' lives. Well, just Julie, hang on one second because we're going to take another quick break because we're getting close to the end of the show. Got a couple of little announcements to make when we come back. So you're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs, and we will be right back.
Amazing Pet Expos is coming to a city near you. Admission is always free, and your pet is welcome. Shopping, adoptions, free nail trims, discounted shots and microchipping, agility, a pet costume contest, and much more. Plus, meet the guys from Animal Planet's hit TV series Tank and Pit Boss. Online at AmazingPetExpos.com.
Bring your pets to the Pet Expo.
Hey everybody, this is Tim Link, the host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Got some exciting news for you here today. My audiobook is now available. Wagging Tails, Every Animal Has a Tail is now available in audiobook form through Audible.com, Amazon.com, and iTunes. It's a collection of 32 conversations I've had with the animals. It's a fun, interesting, heartfelt book that's suitable for all age groups. So everybody pick up a copy of the audiobook, Wagging Tails, Every Animal Has a Tail. You'll be glad you did.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. Vegas Rock Dog Radio continues. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, here again, your host, Sam.
And we're back. You listen to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs. And my guest today is Dr. Julie Buzby, creator, founder of Toe Grips, and Toe Grips are a rubber tight band. This is the best way to describe it until you go to their page and see what the product is. And basically it helps senior dogs, and it helps dogs that are recovering from surgeries get a grip on very slippy floors so that one, they feel very confident, and two, they don't further injure themselves. And how important, she's talking about how important clipping toenails are to your pets. So you still with us, Julie?
I am.
We've got a couple of little announcements before we close the show. We've got about 9 minutes left, something like that. We have a giveaway going on our blog, therockandrolldog.com, and what we're giving away is a rock and roll rosette for your dog's collar. Every week we give something away. It closes at midnight on a Sunday. Monday we announce the winners. We've given away bandanas and toys and t-shirts and you name it. And this week it's going to be the rock and roll rosette, so you can go to therockandrolldog.com. Now, my partner in fundraising crime, that's hard to say actually, fundraising crime, is Pam Webb of Rockin' for Rescues. And as Pam promised a few months ago, she was going to turn her business, rockingforrescues.com, into a charitable 501c3 organization. And I'm happy to say I'm on the board with Pam and Eddie. But we've cooked up another fundraising event because that's what we do. And what we've got going on, it's quite funny. The title's hilarious. I can't take credit for it because Miss Pam came up with that. And the event is called Life's Too Short for Sweaty Balls. And that is our indoor golf tournament. We're hoping to raise some money for some spay neuters. For those sweaty balls. And so it's called Life's Too Short, Way Too Short for Sweaty Balls. Friday, July 24th, 6 to 10 p.m. at Golo indoor golf range. We're not asking you to be outside. It's $30 for a single player. It's $100 for a team of 4, and it's $10 for spectators. For those people that say, "Well, I don't play golf," because there's always someone that says it to me, and I don't either. The spectator ticket is just $10, and basically we're gonna have raffles going on. We'll have some music pumping in there, drinks and appetizers. It'll be a fun evening on a Friday. And you can go to GoLow, GOLOWLV.com, GoLowLV.com, and you can sign up straight away on the site. That's our friend's business, and we're just thrilled that Dorothy is letting us do that in her facility. And I say we can get out of the heat and have some fun. I think her GoLow girls are going to be there. They're adorable. Everybody loves those caddy girls, don't they? So that's our next fundraiser, and this fundraiser will be for Rocking for Rescues, so that we can have some funds available, so that when someone says to us, "Oh my gosh, my dog needs this life-saving surgery and I don't have money for it," we can hopefully say, yes, we've got some money in our coffers and we will help you out with that. And we'll try and negotiate with veterinarians and surgeons and all that kind of thing. We want to be able to help individuals and rescues because there's a need for that. So that's the direction that we're going in. And you know us, we'll just raise the money like we do every time. It's just what we do. So that's going to be coming up in 2 weeks' time. It's a quick event, so we'd like to see everybody attend. We can do 48 players, and we can take, I think, 30 or 40 spectators. It's just going to be really fun. So Jim's going to get a team together.
Indeed, I am. Already working on it.
He had a very nice friend that gave him a set of golf clubs. A really nice set of golf clubs. He's a lucky boy.
Yes, but I still have to buy a new driver.
There's always something he has to buy. There's always something. So
the thrift store driver won't match up to the rest of the club set. So yeah, it's all about the gear.
Oh, we got to get a new Callaway in there, man.
Yeah. You can't have the wrong gear when you're out amongst your peers.
Yeah,
oh, you see, I never succumbed to that. I couldn't care less what anyone else is doing. I really couldn't. But Jim, got to match up and fit in. It'll be, I need this expensive shirt,
shoes,
shoes,
new shoes.
What else are you going to need? You may as well tell me now. Hit me with it right now, Jim, so I get used to the whole idea of this expense. There's always something.
Well, the Gene Woods and race go-karts, you know what's right next door? The Callaway Golf Store. It's right next door to it. Yeah.
I also have, we're going to move away from golf for a minute, tip of the week. Really important to know. Lots of people give peanut butter to their pets, and some of the peanut butter companies are now adding xylitol, a sugar alcohol derived sweetener, into their peanut butters, which we know is just deadly to pets. So if you're someone who gives peanut butter to your pets, please check the label. I don't care whether it's organic or this, that, and the other. You just never know what's going to be put in it, and it's kind of a little trend right now. So we want to try and get that word out of there. So important. Xylitol's just not good for your pets, and it's just a way, I guess, of making it cheaper, and that's usually what happens. So, but it is very toxic to your pets. And I think that's it as far as my announcements go. Julie, I want to thank you for being on the show. It's I think a lot of people will be so surprised how important toenail health is, and very, very thrilled to know that there's a product that can help their pets. So I want to thank you for being on the show. And
my pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity. And I'd like to also mention, I know we talked about price point. We offer a money back guarantee because I want people to be able to try the product. And if it helps them, that is fantastic. That is why we exist. But for some reason, if it doesn't, we will offer a 60-day money-back guarantee.
That gives people a lot of confidence, because then you have a lot of confidence in your product, and I think that's a really good thing. Tell the website one more time before we let you go.
Toegrips.com, TOEGRIPS.com, Facebook.com/Toegrips.
fantastic. And we hope to see you on Periscope and see some toadhills.
Yeah, and Dr. Julie, now that there's a flagpole in South Carolina that is in need of a flag, maybe the Dr. Buzby's flag needs to fly over the state capitol there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes, we're working on creating the Toe Grips Nation, so that sounds good.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Julie. We're going to close the show out by saying this. Do you want to say it, Jim? Oh, Jim could do the closeout today.
I will definitely say it. Remember, you can help a pet in need, either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, or share their information, or perform at a fundraiser. In some kind of performance. Rescue your next family member. Replace the word shop with adopt. Be kind to all animals.
And we will see you next week. You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it's all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. Always remember to kiss your pets good morning and good night. Take a moment to go over Dr. Buzby's Toe Grips page. Like their page. Buy the product if you need it. Ask her questions. And we'd like to wish you all a great weekend. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Diane, for being here.
Thanks, Julie. See you next time.
We will see you very soon, Miss Julie. Thanks, everyone.
Take care. Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.